Let's get you guys a check of the forecast here on a Thursday morning. We're starting our view dark and early here from the Tarpon Lodge out on Pine Island. But boy, I tell you what, the sun's going to come out in full force shortly. And when it does so, our temperature is going to respond. We hit 95 yesterday, which tied a record in Fort Myers, and we're going right back up in the mid-90s today. Let's get you a check of the radar here with a few scattered showers out over the Atlantic and a few more near the Big Bend area. A little lightning strike there with one lone thunderstorm. But as we look at our coastline, we are unfortunately dry. As we go throughout the day, we are expecting another dry at lunchtime. This is a look at 1 o'clock, and you can see just a couple of clouds, not much at all. If we're to pick up a shower today, it's going to be between 4 and 8 as we see that wind slight out of the north. Now, the rain chance today is only around 30%, and it's very isolated, and it's really important we start to get some rain. We're starting to approach 15 inches behind year-to-date in Fort Myers, 9 1/4 in Punta Gorda, and here's why it's so crucial. September is the last month of our rainy season that we average over 9 inches of rainfall a month. Look how far it tapers off. We get a third of that in October, and then we enter November. We're tied for our driest month with February with 1.78 inches. Now, as far as the readings, when you step outside right now, 76 at RSW, 79 at the Naples Airport is our warmest reading here this morning, and you've got Marco checking in at 77. Later this afternoon, right back up in the mid-90s. Identical to yesterday, that reading of 95. You factor in the humidity, and it's going to feel like the triple digits, 100 to 105. So another humid afternoon. And if we hit that 95-degree mark once again, that would tie a record going back to 1984. Let's get you an overall look at what's going to happen here over the next couple of days. Our rain chances are expected to be only around 30% here today. By Friday, a little more moisture. So we'll go with the 50 to 60% chance. And you see a little healthier line of thunderstorms in the afternoon hours, and same idea here for Saturday. A little better chance of rain around town. Unfortunately, a lot of it looks to be inland instead of along the coast where we need it. Now in the tropics, we are still watching Hurricane Lee down to a Category 2. Winds of 100 miles per hour there as it starts to move between Bermuda and the U.S. coastline. But boy, you can see the size and scope of this storm as the wind field is expected to continue to expand as it moves north. And eventually, we're going to see a landfalling system in the Canadian Maritime, but the impact is going to be felt from Cape Cod all the way through parts of Maine as this storm continues to move through over the weekend into early next week. We've also got Margot. This one is still a hurricane with winds of 75 now near the Azores, and going to start moving slowly off to the north here in the next couple of days after doing a little loop and stalling out. One other area we're watching, the latest from the National Hurricane Center, does have a 90% chance of this developing, so it looks like we will have our next depression or named storm here in the days ahead. As far as your marine forecast, winds are going to be fairly light today out of the north, 5 to 10. Water temperature at 84. Let's get you right over to the 7-day and take a look at the weekend. How about it? Right now, we are anticipating some afternoon showers and storms, about a 60 to 70% chance for the early parts of next week. We finally get our temperatures back a little closer to our average of 90 by the time Monday and Tuesday roll around.